Forget the Pinterest perfect evening routines. You don't need a 2 hour bubble bath. You don't need a 10-step skincare or journaling under the moonlight. You really don't. The only rule there should be to your evening routine is that it works for you. My routine is not the same as yours, and yours is not going to be the same as the next person. And that's totally fine. We're not all the same. So today, let me talk to you about my evening routine. You know, I'm big on routines. I've already shared my Sunday evening routine to get rid of those Sunday scaries, that anxiety that would set in for me before the week started. And today, it's more about every day, what I usually do. And again, this is not set in stone, but these are the things that I find work best for me. Hi, my name is Sarah, and if you're new here, I'm a clarity and growth coach, and I'm also the editor of Life Mastery Magazine, a monthly digital magazine created for the everyday midlife woman. Step number 1 of my evening routine: screen boundaries. Yes, I work online, so I'm sitting at my computer for many hours a day. I also live in a different time zone than America. So I do end up having calls late at night, sometimes until midnight, my time. And I've just learned to incorporate that in my day. And I'm going to explain what that means. So for me, it means that whatever time I end my work on my computer, be it at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 11 p.m., or midnight, I will not pick up my phone. I will not scroll, because if I pick up my phone and I start to see notifications on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on Messenger, I know I'm going to go down that rabbit hole. And unless I'm expecting some kind of message from a client, a message from, someone I'm having a collaboration with, I will not check them until the next morning. If I am expecting, I might get my phone, but I really am intentional on only checking Messenger if that's where we're connecting, or WhatsApp. That's it. So step number 2, transitional ritual. Now, this sounds very fancy and sounds very woo-woo. It's not. It really isn't. For me, whenever the last call ends, the last call I have for my business, whatever time it is, it always involves changing into my pajamas. I love being in my pajamas, having some herbal tea, and reading. It might mean a conversation with my husband, but that's about it. And bed. I like going to bed early. And again, I don't get to do that very often. So whenever I can, I try to go and just read a little bit in bed. And I like feeling cozy. So that's kind of what works for me. For you, it might be taking a walk outside, something completely different. And you need to incorporate things that work for you. Again, this is not about my routine is the best. It's about this is what I do and what I can do right now at this stage of my life. Then there's a comforting cue. What the hell does that mean, right? So a comfort cue is a signal that tells your body it's time to relax. For me, it's going after my family and turning down or turning off all the overhead lights and just turn on my table lamps or my floor lamps, maybe lighting a candle. Actually, I have a candle warmer, and so that's my go-to, and just really let the house start to wind down. And that tells me it's time to relax. It's my time, and there's no pressing anything waiting for me. I'm not due to have a meeting with anyone. And so that is really, really nice. I like that it becomes cozy, and I really enjoy that. It makes me feel so good. It makes me, people talk about romanticizing life. That's what it is for me. It's when there's candlelight, or when there's just little lamps and with lampshades and all the things. I love that. So that's what it is for me. For me, when my brain starts to see all these things and lights dimming and little lights everywhere, that's when my body knows, it's time to relax. We don't, We can do whatever we want. Nobody is expecting us to show up for anything. And step number four, it's a gratitude check. Yes, at the end of my day, I try to go over it, what happened, how I responded rather than reacted to situations, what I loved about it. Every day, I'm very grateful for the day because it's come and it's gone, and I dealt with it the best I could because that's how I want to show up. I try to always show up as my best self, and it's important for me to just at the end of the day do a recap and see if that was true that day as well. And if it wasn't, give myself some grace and make it a point of deciding that the next day I'm going to make more of an effort to show up as my best self. And I'm always very grateful for my life. I love my life. And I'm always so grateful for everything there's in it and for all the ideas and for all the things that show up for me. And so that's very important to me. I do that in the morning when I wake up, the first thing I do. And it's also the last thing I do before I go to sleep and just really think about it. Now, sometimes I will journal about it, but most times it's just giving my mind permission to switch off and to say, okay, that day is done. You can file it. It's good. Let's move on. And that's what works for me. This hasn't always been the case. And since I've decided that I would not pick up my phone, and mind you, sometimes it does happen, and I just have to keep in mind that that's not the person I want to be, and that is not actually helping me have a productive day the next day. Because for me, a successful day begins the night before. It truly does. It begins when I decide that it's important for me to not scroll on my phone because I'll pay for it the next day. And it's important that I keep reminding myself of these things. And the more I make a habit of them, the more it will come to me naturally. And I will not be, reaching out to grab my phone to scroll or to message someone or whatever it is. And yes, it has a lot of benefits for me. I do sleep better. I fall asleep easier. And I always wake up excited and not tired the next morning. Now, my next morning does not start at 4 or 5 or even at 6. At best, it starts at 6:30, but if I had a call until midnight, it might start more like 7:30. And I'm perfectly okay with that. And it's just it's a way of life. It's where I'm at. It's what I need to do. And I enjoy it. So it's not a sacrifice, even though I am someone who likes going to bed early. It's okay. I don't mind it because I get so much joy from my work and from what I do that it compensates. It honestly does. And then let's just be honest about it. Midlife brings a lot of challenges. Hot flashes, insomnia, racing thoughts. My gosh, so many things. On those nights that, I just can't fall asleep or that I'm not well, I just have to embrace it and not fight it, and maybe I'll be reading a little bit longer, and the next day the day is going to start a little bit later. And that's fine because that's just where I'm at. This is just this phase of life. The more I try to fight that, the more frustrated I get, and that does not take us anywhere. So I just choose to, okay, this is what's happening. Maybe I'll have another tea, another herbal tea. Maybe I will just read a little bit longer. Whatever it is, I just try to keep myself calm and breathe because there's really not much more I can do about it. And again, an evening routine, it's not about perfection. It's about what works for you. It's about whatever you have going on in your life at this moment, and do the best you can, whatever works for you. But just be mindful that maybe you don't need to be on your phone until 1 a.m., or maybe you don't need to go to bed at 3 a.m., and just start implementing those boundaries. It's not very easy because, your body is using to a certain rhythm, and then when you try to change it, it won't like it. but just keep at it and don't get frustrated when you don't fall asleep straight away. And instead of scrolling, start reading or whatever. Just find what actually works for you and try it out for a couple of months, and you'll see benefits straight away. So these are my simple steps that work for my evening routine right now, and it's ever changing. It really just depends on what you have going on in your life, what's important to you, and what you want to prioritize. At the end of the day, that's kind of what this is all about. And it's not about that perfection, it's about you, and it needs to work for you, nobody else. Hey, I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe to Life Mastery Magazine, it's a digital magazine sent to your inbox once a month, and it's free. You'll love it. It's really good. Any more information you need about Life Mastery Circle, or if you want to get in touch with me, you'll have all the links in the description box. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.